To the other big story we are following tonight, the COVID-19 crisis. Health leaders say the feared winter surge is officially here.
Yeah, the proof, the number of people reported infected today in LA County doubled the number from yesterday.
The virus has never spread that quickly since the pandemic began. Here's KCAL 9 Sarah Donchi.
Omicron is making its presence known in Southern California, fueling a spike in cases that has brought us to the doorstep of the latest surge. LA County is reporting one of the biggest one-day jumps in cases ever. The number doubled overnight to more than 6,500 new cases and 16 more deaths. Dr. Barbara Ferrer is warning if the surge continues, LA County could see record-breaking numbers, well over 20,000 cases a day.
These numbers make it crystal clear that we're headed into a very challenging time over the holiday. If our case numbers continue to increase at a rapid pace over this week and next, we could be looking at case numbers we have never seen before.
More people contracting the virus every day than during the darkest days of the pandemic last winter, and that could include healthcare workers. It's the biggest concern at hospitals in Southern California now. What happens if large numbers of doctors, nurses, and support staff get this highly contagious variant? At White Memorial Hospital in Boyle Heights, the spike has already started.
We do see our own staff getting sick. So just like in the county, our own staff, we had about a doubling of our staff that tested positive today versus yesterday. And most of it from family gatherings on the outside.
Bryant says her hospital still has overflow tents that were set up last year. Many hospitals took theirs down, thinking the worst days were behind us.
We're preparing to have 200 patients again. Hopefully we'll be over prepared and we won't need any of those resources, but we would much rather be safe.
With the holidays around the corner, many are scrambling to get tested and avoid exposure.
We've been scrambling to find COVID tests at Walgreens and CVS, which I've been unable to find. My daughter and oldest son are going to be going to their grandmother's house, who's requiring that they get tests, which I appreciate.
For others, the surge has derailed holiday plans completely. Marissa Passer canceled her flight to see her family across country for the first time in 2 years.
One of my brothers popped positive and also exposed my mother at the same time. And now there's not much reason to go because we can't visit them.
While hospitalization numbers have remained flat mostly, doctors are concerned that there could be a delay and a jump in hospitalization since most people tend to get sick at least a few days after they've been infected. Hospital workers, though, say largely the people who are getting sick are unvaccinated. I'm Sarah Donchi, KCAL 9 News.
And the CDC says fully vaccinated people do not need to quarantine after a close contact with someone who has COVID unless you develop symptoms. Fully vaccinated people are encouraged to get tested 5 to 7 days after their exposure, even if they don't have symptoms. Wear a mask indoors in public for 14 days following that exposure or until you test negative.
And the CDC says unvaccinated people should quarantine for 14 days after their last exposure. And of course, if you test positive, the CDC says you should isolate for 10 days starting on your first day of symptoms.